There's a person who think too much, not in the way that solves problems or creates art, but in the way that traps them. They wake up at 3 a.m, replaying a conversation from yesterday, wondering if they said the wrong thing, if the other person noticed their hesitation, if it means something bigger about their life. This is the overthinker, the one who turns small moments into endless loops of worry, analysis, and doubt. If you've ever been one of them, you know it's exhausting. It's like having a mind that never rests, always spinning, always questioning, always afraid of what might happen next. Overthinking isn't just about being anxious, it's a habit, a pattern that starts small but grows. Imagine sitting at a desk, staring at an email that needs to be sent. The words get written, deleted, rewritten, then comes the wondering if the recipient will misinterpret it. Thoughts spiral into possible reactions, intentions, the tone of every word. By the time send is pressed, hours have passed, and exhaustion sets in. This isn't productivity, it's paralysis. Overthinkers don't just think, they overthink. They replay events, predict disasters, and second-guess every choice. It's like their brain is a hamster wheel, and they can't get off. There's a difference between thinking deeply and thinking destructively. Deep thinkers analyze, learn, and move forward. Overthinkers get stuck. They circle the same worries endlessly, like a record with a scratch that keeps jumping back. Picture someone at a party, replaying a joke they made, dissecting every facial expression in the room, convinced they've been judged. While everyone else has moved on, the overthinker is still there, hours later, replaying that single moment. This is the trap. Thoughts that were meant to protect become a prison. Why do people think too much? Sometimes it's biology. Some brains are wired to be more sensitive, to notice threats and uncertainties that others ignore. Genetics play a role, as do past experiences. If someone grew up in a chaotic home or faced criticism for mistakes, thinking became a way to prepare, to avoid surprises. Over time, it becomes automatic. They start thinking about thinking, wondering why they can't stop, which makes it worse. Psychologists call this rumination, repetitive, unproductive thought cycles that feed on themselves. It's different from deep reflection. Rumination is stuck, emotional, and draining. The modern world doesn't help. There's constant information, constant comparison, constant choice. Social media shows carefully curated lives that make overthinkers question their own. They see someone's vacation photos and wonder why they're not happy enough, successful enough, living enough. Every notification is a potential worry. Every silence from a friend becomes a problem to solve. The brain, designed to protect from danger, treats these small uncertainties like threats. The result is a mind that never switches off, always scanning for problems that might not exist. The costs are real. Overthinking steals sleep, energy, and joy. It leads to anxiety, depression, and physical symptoms like headaches or stomach issues. Relationships suffer because overthinkers might avoid intimacy, fearing rejection, or analyze every text until they drive people away. Work stalls, decisions take forever, opportunities pass by. In extreme cases, it can lead to isolation, where the overthinker feels trapped in their own head, watching life happen without them. They become spectators of their own existence, too paralysed by what-ifs to participate. But there's a flip side. Overthinking can be a strength in disguise. It makes people careful, empathetic, and thorough. They might spot details others miss, plan better, or avoid real mistakes. Many overthinkers are creative, insightful, and loyal friends once they open up. The same sensitivity that causes worry also creates depth. They notice when someone is hurting, remember small details that matter, and think through consequences that others overlook. The key is recognizing when thinking helps and when it harms. Productive thinking is focused and leads to action. Overthinking is endless and leads nowhere. Consider a teacher who loves planning lessons but spends hours worrying about what if a student doesn't understand, or if the principal criticizes the approach. One day, there's a presentation to give. Instead of preparing, the night is spent imagining every possible question, every way it could go wrong. The next day, exhausted and anxious, the presentation is stumbled through, convinced it was a disaster. But when the feedback is reviewed, it's positive. The overthinking didn't prevent mistakes, it created them. This is the paradox. The more energy spent avoiding failure, the more likely it becomes. There's another pattern overthinkers fall into: the need for certainty. They want to know exactly how things will turn out before they start. They research endlessly, seek multiple opinions, make lists of pros and cons. But life doesn't offer guarantees. The search for perfect information becomes another form of paralysis. Meanwhile, people who think less often achieve more, not because they're smarter, but because they're willing to act without knowing every answer. They understand something overthinkers forget. Most decisions aren't as important as they seem, and most mistakes can be fixed. So how does someone break the cycle? Start small. Notice when overthinking happens. That knot in the stomach, the racing thoughts. Label it, this is overthinking. Then redirect, try grounding. Name 5 things that can be seen, 4 that can be touched, 3 that can be heard. Or schedule worry time, 15 minutes a day to think about concerns, then let them go. Challenge thoughts. Is this true? What's the evidence? Replace worst-case scenarios with balanced ones. Action helps too. Do something small, like sending that email to prove thoughts wrong. Mindfulness or therapy can teach how to observe thoughts without getting caught in them. One powerful technique is the 5-5-5 rule. When overthinking starts, ask, will this matter in 5 minutes? 5 months? 5 years? Most worries disappear under this lens. That awkward comment at dinner? Gone in 5 minutes. That project setback? Forgotten in 5 months. That fear of judgment? Irrelevant in 5 years. This perspective shift helps the mind see what's actually important. It's not about ignoring problems, it's about giving them the right amount of attention. Big problems deserve deep thought. Small ones deserve to be let go. Another approach is to set boundaries with your own mind. Treat thoughts like guests at a party. Some are welcome and interesting, others are extremely drunk and might need to leave or get some rest. When an unhelpful thought arrives, everyone thinks I'm failing. Acknowledge it without inviting it in. Thanks for sharing, but I'm not interested. Then focus on something real. A task, a conversation, a walk outside. The brain will protest at first, throwing more thoughts to get attention. But with practice, it learns that not every thought deserves engagement. This isn't suppression, it's curation. Physical activity helps too. When the mind is stuck in loops, the body can break them. Exercise releases tension, shifts focus, and produces chemicals that calm anxiety. It doesn't have to be intense. A walk, some stretching, even standing up and moving around can interrupt the cycle. Overthinkers often live entirely in their heads, disconnected from their bodies. Reconnecting through movement reminds them there's more to existence than thought. The world is physical, tangible, immediate. Sometimes the best response to overthinking is to stop thinking altogether and just be. Connection matters too. Overthinkers often isolate, assuming no one understands or that they'll burden others. But talking about thoughts, really voicing them, can deflate their power. What feels overwhelming in the mind often sounds manageable when spoken aloud. A trusted friend or therapist can offer perspective, challenge distortions, or simply listen. Even writing thoughts down helps. Journaling externalizes the internal chaos, making it easier to see patterns and separate real concerns from imagined ones. The act of translating thought into words forces clarity that rumination never achieves. Overthinking is common, especially in a world full of uncertainty. It's not a flaw, it's a response. But it can be changed. By practicing awareness, setting boundaries on thoughts, and taking action, overthinking can transform from a burden into a tool. Remember, the mind is powerful, but it's not in control unless it's allowed to be. Start today, pick one thought loop and break it. Notice it, name it, redirect it. You'll feel lighter, freer. If this resonates, try journaling your thoughts or talking to someone. Share what works. Thanks for listening to this story of the overthinker. Until next time, think less, live more.